welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing a Bible study, and today's Bible study is going to be in Psalms chapter 63 verses 1 through 11. So we're going to jump in and read that, and then we'll go through and break it down and talk about it.
It's actually all of chapter 63. So I'm going to read that for you. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory. Because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you. So I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips, when I remember you upon my bed, and meditate on you in the watches of the night. For you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me. But those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals. But the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear to him shall exult, for the mouths of liars will be stopped.
So this chapter is titled My Soul Thirsts for You, and a lot of it is just mainly David expressing his gratitude of being loved by God and the comfort of being held in his hands throughout times of trouble. And then to better give you a little bit of background on this, I'm going to read part of the commentary, and it kind of explains why David might have been writing this psalm. It says, the title links the psalm to David's days as a refugee, but it is not immediately clear whether the reference is to fleeing from Saul or from Absalom. The latter may seem more likely, since the author calls himself a king. On the other hand, the land through which David fled is not normally counted as part of the wilderness of Judah, and David could have thought of himself as a king even when he was fleeing Saul, since Samuel had already anointed him. So there's kind of a little bit there that's up for interpretation.
Verses 1 and 2 say, O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory.
So this is David expressing his longing for God, and like, my soul thirsts for you kind of just points to his intense personal devotion to God. And there's also a piece of commentary that we're going to read off of that one. It says, clearly the singer misses God, but in particular he misses his experience of God in public worship. The sanctuary is a place of corporate worship, and God's glory in his special presence with his people, which is given and enjoyed in the sanctuary. Well, this verse kind of reminded me of the song, I think it's titled As a Deer, but I'm not sure. It talks about, as a deer panters for water, so my soul longs after thee. And so that that song was brought to my mind a lot throughout this Bible study.
So verse 1 really stood out to me and got me to thinking, what does it actually mean to seek after God? So I looked it up on Google and it brought me to bible.org, and a writing from Stephen J. Cole came up, and it's titled Psalms 63, Seeking After God. And he has 3 questions written down in this writing. The 3 questions are, what does it mean to seek after God? What does the person look like who seeks after God? And how does a person seek after God? So, to answer the first question, what does it mean to seek after God? Seeking after God means to, desire him more and to long for him to be in your life.
Like the deer song says.
And then question 2 was, what does the person look like who seeks after God? And for that answer, he actually gave 3 or 4 answers, but these are the ones that I just chose because they stuck out more to me. And I chose this answer, which is the person who seeks after God has inner stability and strength in crisis. So when we seek after God, we have more stability in our life, and whenever we go through something, we know that God's right there with us. So we know that we can lean on him.
We don't have to do the freak out as much.
Yeah.
We still do it sometimes. We just don't have to do it as much.
And then question 3 was, how does a person seek after God? So how do we seek after God? I picked out 2 of his answers on this one. The first one was, you seek God by putting love for God at the center of your relationship with him.
But whenever your love is for God, then everything you do kind of revolves around that.
You seek God by spending consistent time alone with him. So prayer and quiet time whenever you're just laying in your bed or in your war room and you're just having your quiet time with God. Just
being
talking
in his word.
Talking to him, reading your Bible. That's another way of how we can seek God, is just talk to him and read his word, because
and his word will draw us closer and closer to him.
Yep.
Okay, so on to verse 3 and 4. That was a
side tangent. Rabbit trail.
Okay, so verse 3 and 4 says, because your steadfast love is better than life, my lips will praise you.
So these 2 verses are David acknowledging how wonderful God's love is, and because of that, he intends to praise, worship, and focus on God. Verses 5 through 8 say, my soul will be satisfied as with fat and rich food, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on you in the watches of night, for you have been my help. And in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. My soul clings to you, your right hand upholds me.
So when our focus is on God, then we will find satisfaction. We can see all that he does for us, which in turn produces gratitude, joy, and praises to God. Then we get like a sureness and a confidence of knowing that we are safe in the shadow of his wings, like it says in that verse. Verses 9 and 10 talk about like what was troubling David, like what caused David to write this psalm. It says, but those who seek to destroy my life shall go down into the depths of the earth. They shall be given over to the power of the sword. They shall be a portion for jackals.
So obviously in these verses, someone is seeking to destroy David. And like the commentary said at the beginning, it could have been King Saul, or it could have been while fleeing from Absalom.
And to us as believers, this can kind of be applied as an analogy. It can be seen as those who try to combat our beliefs because they are against God and they don't understand and they don't fully grasp his promises, so they don't understand why we believe what we believe, so they question it. And so we have to deal with that. But in these verses, David kind of talks about how ultimately those who are against him will fail because he has been anointed by God and he's God's child. And we also have that. When people are questioning our belief system and why we do what we do, we need to remember that we're doing it for a greater good.
So I'm going to read the commentary out of my Bible. The king and those who adhere to him will not fall prey to these enemies, but shall rejoice in God. Verse 11 says, but the king shall rejoice in God. All who swear by him shall exalt, for the mouths of liars will be stopped.
And I'm also going to read a little piece of commentary after that one. It says, God's love and faithfulness are clearly on display. So when it talks about swear by in verse 11, it's talking about those people who display a loyalty to God and how God's love and faithfulness will always be there to protect those who are loyal and have a deep desire for God.
So Lamentations 3:22 through 23 and 25 says, the faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness. His mercies begin afresh each morning. The Lord is good to those who depend on him, to those who search for him.
what stuck out to us most of this one is that we can have confidence in God's faithfulness to us. If we are following after Him and desiring to be closer to Him, then He's always going to be faithful to us. So be confident in God's faithfulness.
So that's all for this week's Bible study, and we hope you guys got something out of this week's study.
Yep.
We kind of had a few rabbit trails in there, but...
Well, that just happens sometimes when you do Bible studies. You can, two different people can read it, and it can go in two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And God gives us what we need when we need it. So, anyways, we enjoyed this Bible study. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys just like hanging out with us, we also post videos on Wednesdays and Fridays. Wednesday is another faith-based video. Right now we're doing the book, What If God Wrote Your Bucket List by J. Palantner. We're going through that chapter by chapter. And then on Fridays, we do some kind of a fun video, something that looks fun to us. Most of the time that's makeup or fashion or food, because food is good, or something like that. Just something lighthearted and fun. So we hope you guys will check out some more of our videos, and
if you like our videos, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and if you want to be notified when we upload, hit the little bell.
We hope you guys have a good day. We hope you have a good week, and don't forget to shine.
Bye!